We're all looking forward to Super Mario Odyssey, and I'm already completely sold on the game. I am completely convinced that it will completely charm me, as the 3D Mario series has never disappointed yet, but some speculation couldn't hurt. Nintendo has proclaimed that Odyssey stands with Mario 64 and Sunshine more than it does with Galaxy, Galaxy 2, and 3D World. Now there are two things which distinguish these games from these other games. The first thing is a surface level detail called non-linearity. 64 and Sunshine open up a lot of levels at once and allow players to pick and choose which collectibles they wish to pursue. The second thing is movement options. 64 and Sunshine have expansive, deep movesets with exploits for height and speed which revolutionized 3D platforming navigation. In comparison, Galaxy's moveset lacks a dive move, and the spin which replaces it kills player momentum, making Mario's overall average velocity much lower. The long jump as well feels floaty due to the game, well, taking place in space. Mario 3D World featured quite a few moves that were incredibly stiff and completely useless compared to a top-speed running jump in a catsuit. Mario 64 and Sunshine's movement is fluid, giving the player freedom to move themselves through the environment in their own way. Self-expression was created through movement. This fluidity is much reduced in 3D World, partially to accommodate to players using the Wii Remote D-pad. It partially contributes to the linear game design's emphasis on interesting obstacles taking up the game's appeal over movement as well. The fact that Galaxy, Galaxy 2, and 3D World are Nintendo's most recent Mario titles gives me fear that Odyssey's movement system will feel stiff as well due to old habits. Galaxy's trailer footage is abundant, and it's a blessing to have a Mario game feature both the long jump and the dive at the same time again. However, the movement in Mario Odyssey looks somewhat stiff so far. The dive itself seems to propel Mario slightly upward, which makes it hard to tell how much it propels Jumpman forward, which is what it's for. It's also hard to tell how much the dive move will propel Mario forward because all we have is video footage trailers. Mario Odyssey promises wide-open, diverse worlds containing numerous creature and object transformations in the vein of Banjo-Kazooie, perhaps. And that has the potential to take up the focus and make up the appeal of the game as opposed to the fluid movement I have such a hard-on for. Odyssey's squeaky clean, round and soft, confetti-filled visual art style reminds me too much of 3D World to think of the archaic, open-ended movement mechanics of 13 years ago. Plus, the game hasn't even come out yet, so whatever. Okay, so now that the clickbait's out of the way, let's do what we're actually here for. That's right, I fooled you! This is Super Mario 64 Appreciation Post, baby! Super Mario 64 rides on firmly rooted, excellent movement mechanics, an open mountain-oriented level design which everyone has already talked about to death, so I'm simply going to point out all of the little things, which make Mario 64 a game with player choice, movement options, 6 skips, and replayability. Here we go! Welcome to Super Mario 64, a game with so many little touches and polish that it's the best game ever, and it's good, and I like it. So the first thing I want to show you is this little thing called the long jump. Look at it. That's pretty good, right? That's pretty decent. That gives you a good burst of speed and a consistent forward momentum, but check this out. You press A and B real quick and he does a dive. As famous YouTuber PanandCoic2012 has famously demonstrated, the jump dive is actually slightly faster than a long jump, and you can chain them together as so. You can't do that in Mario 64 DS. If you try to do this in Mario 64 DS, he'll do a jump kick on the second go, and it sucks, and it doesn't feel satisfying, but doing this feels satisfying. Ooh, it feels so good. Ooh, look at that. Ooh, I love it. Okay, so anytime you are moving forward in Mario 64, you are making a decision between a long jump and a dive. Anytime you're moving forward, you're choosing between the stable consistency, the safety and ease of performance of a long jump, and the wild, tenacious, yet faster nature of a dive. You can wall kick out of a long jump. That's the best move in any game ever. You can do that. You can do that. You can do that. Oh my gosh, it's the best. It's not particularly applicable here because I'm just messing around in the castle, but that is the greatest move. That is the icing on the cake. Obviously, a game like this has a foundation to build upon. And that foundation is large, open, mountainous regions. Look at that. This area is a big and open, but it's all revolving around this one top area. So you run around and then you run up. You know, that's the foundation or whatever. But on top of that are little touches, intentional or no, that make the game deeper, more dynamic, more challenging, and more interesting, such as that. Yes! That shit. That shit's the good shit. That's what makes a game better than the rest. That's what turns a strong to a light. Womp's Fortress is an exploitable mess of a level. At least half of this level is done by unintentional means by speedrunners, or by casual runners such as myself who like to grind 10 minutes on hard tricks. Check that. I don't gotta run around the mountain. I can just do that. And it begins. It begins. This is what we call owlless. You ride an owl and then get descended slowly until you drop into this cage, or you could do this insanely difficult but faster if you do it on the first try platforming challenge to get to it. It skips content, but it skips like boring content, and it replaces the content with legitimate, challenging platforming. And that's why skips in this game are the best thing ever. Check this. It's like that takes a bit to do. This takes a lot to do, clearly. Yes! Ah! Being able to complete a star in a different, more difficult, yet faster method, and it's only faster if you do it on the first try, it makes you feel like a super player. It makes you feel like a super cool guy. It adds depth and replayability to a title. This one's super easy, everyone knows about this, but you know what? It's worth mentioning. It's a classic. Anytime in Mario 64 you can remove the necessity of a cannon is a very big plus. It's not very bad here. It's not hard to aim at this thing, but you're doing that simply better. I don't know what I mean. I sound like a fucking geek right there. But you know what? That's it. Is it, like, you can't call it polish because those were not intentional skips. But it is there. It is a part of the game, and it does make the game more dynamic. This level's accessibility comes a long time before the accessibility of the metal cap. And it really doesn't feel good in a collectathon game to come into a level, realize that you don't have the proper equipment or ability to get a star, and then come back on it later. So you know what? I'm just gonna get this star. I'm just gonna get it. It's mine. You can do that. That's a thing you can do. That's a thing you can do with Mario's base moveset. And that's pretty much the only skip in that level, so let's move on to the next one. You wanna go on a ghost hunt? You wanna explore the second floor? You gotta get the first star first? That's a lie. That's a lie. Let's look at this. Bam! We are on the second floor. And we skipped the book puzzle because we have spatial awareness and we can do platforming. And that's it. That's what the game's all about. The game's all about spatial awareness and platforming. And that's right there, dog. While kicking out of a long jump is the best thing ever. And this, I have an irrational attachment to just that. Okay, the fact that a wall kick requires timing, the fact that if you fail the wall kick, you will fall down, makes the wall kick more satisfying. Right there. The possibility of a fail state makes the victory all the sweeter. Mario 64 DS, Mario will slide off of a wall, give you as much time in the world as you need to get that wall kick. And you know, if you don't wall kick fast, then you'll lose height. And that's technically failing. But it doesn't feel as good. It doesn't feel as good. Mario 64 DS doesn't have a very strong kicking sound. They attempted to make up for it by giving Mario his loudest and most enthusiastic yell for a wall kick. But it's not the same. Little details such as falling into chutes and diving into the wall so that Mario will never try to climb out really makes this game more thoughtful or something. I don't fucking know. Get out of here. Because whenever I fall down there, I'm like mashing B. I'm like hammering it in a very unique way that I never do in any other situation of the game. So it's like a damn son. This is where the difference between Mario 64 and Mario 64 DS shines, is this section right here. Mario 64 DS, due to its digital control, has significantly less mid-air control, because Mario has strong mid-air control forward and backward, and weak mid-air control side to side. But because Mario 64 DS is digital, it's extremely picky. It doesn't allow you to pull back as easily, so your jumps are extremely committed. That would be a failed Siglemic.
Siglemic!
Do I gotta navigate a toxic maze? No, I don't. Skips like that. It's satisfying, it's fun. It makes the game, it makes you want to play the game again and see if you can do it better, faster, stronger, harder. It doesn't trivialize the game because what you are doing is platforming. You're not platforming in the way that they wanted you to, but you're still platforming. You're still platforming. In order to get the skip, you have to do... Okay, what is happening here? There we go. There's another dingle-dangle... If you do like a triple jump off of this, if you do a triple jump somewhere, I'm not sure where, you can run down to the Dory domain. And you know what, that's a pretty exploitative skip, but you know what, I don't even know how to do it, so whatever. What do you want to take the Metal Mario cap and run down the path and hit a switch? You think it's satisfying to run in the water as Metal Mario? I mean, kinda, I guess. It's a challenge. It is a challenge, it's a thing that you do. But you could also do this! Come on. Everything's gonna take 3 tries. Nothing's gonna have any sense of timing or weight to it, but there. You could do the Metal Mario thing, or you could do a little exploit that you learn about and perform yourself. I think it's neat and fun. Mario 64's movement is very fluid. You have a very versatile moveset that you can apply in a lot of different ways. And you use that moveset in however you like and however you can to get the stars however you can. You don't really see that in like Galaxy or 3D World. Those games are extremely regulated, extremely stiff. Those games, you go in and you run and jump and you do the challenge, and they're very competent challenges, they're very strong challenges, they're very fun, brightly colored games. But this Mario 64 moveset in 3D World is like useless. Like all you're gonna need to do in that game is run and jump. For the most part, with some exceptions. Bam! I just skipped 1/4 of the map. I just skipped a boring auto-scroller on a moving platform because I had spatial awareness and I could do the thing. How good is, like, even if it's not intentional, like, that feels good. That's awesome that it's there. Let's check this out. This is obvious. Like normal players, they're gonna run into that quicksand. They're gonna run into that dark quicksand zone and they're gonna suffer. They're gonna suffer to navigate past those things. But you get the Koopa shell and you get the flying cap and you can avoid that area completely until you need the red coin, and then you just pop in and get the red coin and run away. You get those undesirable parts of the levels, those parts of the levels that you played the first time and were like, okay, that's intimidating. That's like, ooh, that's an ordeal, and you can ascend them. You can abscond from that challenge by being clever, by using your resources intelligently, cleverly. Oh, alright. Alright. That can happen sometimes. Dang it! I accidentally got the star again. And we got the star. We skipped a whole bunch of platforming. But you know what? If you want the 100 coin star, you're gonna have to platform up the pyramid anyway. So I'm not skipping that much content, I'm skipping having to backtrack through it. So I can use the 4 pillars to get to the top of the thing relatively easily. But if I want to go to the boss, I'm gonna have to stand on the 4 pillars all over again, right? Not right, because you can skip everything. Skip it, skip, skip. If you can find a thing to skip, you gotta skip it, dude. You gotta exploit, man. You gotta use your tools to the best of your ability. You gotta be a good boy. And this is how to be a good boy. This is organic. This is organic gameplay right here. This is what you are looking for. This is what you call movement options. This is what you call I'm playing a game and I'm doing things. Come on, come on, come on, come on. I didn't stand tall on 4 pillars, but you know what? You can get to that real easy. I don't actually want to fight these guys. I just gotta say, man, the sound design for this game is like legendary. Like the sound for walking in this game is just the best thing ever. The sound for sliding, the sound for wall kicking, and the sound for this. It's the most satisfying any game has ever been with movement. And that's only slightly exaggerated, man. It is top tier. The rhythm at this, man. The way Mario scampers about. The number of footsteps per minute is so high, but not too high, that he feels like he's got places to go. I just used the word scampering, man. He scampers. Check this out. I want to go into the igloo right now. I'm going to go into that igloo. I'm not going to run around the entire level. I'm just going to do that. There, I just skipped like half the level. But not really, because if you're going for 100%, which is all you would do in Mario 64, then you would have to run around the level and get the coins. But the trick is, and you can be taught this trick by playing a ROM hack called Super Mario Star Road, is that if you do a triple jump, your second jump can land on a steep slope and still register a triple jump without sliding down if you time it right. Which is what I did there. I did this. I did this. So you would slide off of this normally, but if you just do your second jump, your triple jump just goes right up. Is it an exploit? Yes, but it is also a legitimate part of your moveset. You can climb mountains with this. I'm gonna get some momentum. Bam. All right. So check out this icy ocean here. If you want to get that star, if you want to get that shell, if you want to get those red coins, you're gonna have to bounce off of that thing. But what if you do this? What if you end up doing this to yourself? If you find yourself without the twirlies, but still need to get up here for the star, worry not, because you can just do the thing that I just did. And now you win the game. You have won. You're the best. You're the best. Look at how good you are. You did this. You did this. You figured it out. You watched someone else do it online and then copied them, but you know what? It felt good. Whirl from the freezing pond, more like platforming from the freezing pond. So if you recall Mysterious Mountainside, you go down a little slide and you go into a cave and then you collect a star at the end of that slide. And where is that cave on the mountain? It's right dingle-dang here. You can just do that. And you think to yourself, well, Steven, you just missed yourself the experience of going down the fun level 2 slide. It's harder than the first slide. But if you want to collect 100 coins, which you want to do in this game, because going for 100% is what you want to do in Mario 64, you still have to go down the slide because there are so many coins on that slide. So you're really not skipping out on content, you're just skipping out on having to do it twice. And it feels good to like know that you have another option, to have another way to get things done. So look at that blast to the lonely mushroom there. Look at that star in the distance. You see it? You see it? You gotta hit a cannon to get that. But you know what? Aiming a cannon kinda sucks. It's kinda hard. It's kinda not easy. It's kinda inconsistent. So instead of doing that, what a concept! Look at that. What do you want, a trial and error? Fire your cannon at this baseless thing and then fall 3 times in a row and then go back to the cannon 3 times? No, you just want to jump at it. You just want to jump to it because you're a Mario master. So you like auto-scrollers? You like standing on slow-moving platforms? You like standing on slow-moving platforms? I don't like standing on slow-moving platforms, so you know what? I'm just going to do that. Bam. Now I have access to the entire level, and all I missed are 10 coins. And a boring old auto-scroller that wastes minutes of my time. Oh, but no. But now I gotta auto-scroll off of this one. Well, guess what, baby? There's a way to do that one, too. Because you are so good at video games, you watch speedruns. You watch them, and you just copy them to the best of your feeble ability. And you discover, oh, and just do this. And then you do this. Damn, you just skipped half the auto-scrolling of this level. You kind of have to go up here, though. It kind of looks like you can platform up here. It kind of looks like it. I've never tried it, and I have my doubts that I'm able to do it, but let's give it a shot. Let's give it a shot, dog. Can I triple jump this, or do I have to wait for the bridge? Oh, alright. I guess you can kind of do it. You could do the auto-scroller, or you could do platforming. You've got... A lot of these stars are exploitable just by continuing in the level a little bit and then jumping down to it. So look at that. Oh, clock's not moving. I can't get to it, right? But it's right there. The star's right down there. I could jump to that in a second. So it's like, damn, son. Spatial awareness rewards players with ease of access, alternative access. You just watch speedrunners, man. You just watch speedrunners do this shit and you're like, whoa, that's amazing. And then you try to do it. And then you kinda sorta do it. I mean, you kinda sorta did it. You did a skip. And then you feel like a god.